Good morning. Hope you're doing well. A cold morning today. There's nothing cool about it. You can see I'm inside the truck. You know, we live in a world today that is an unforgiving world. A world that holds grudges. A world that just does not know what the word forgive means at times. But Jesus, in Matthew chapter 18, I think verse 21 and 22, Peter came to Jesus and he said, Lord, how many times should I forgive my brother that sins against me? 7 times? And Jesus said, I say 7 times 70. And there's been a lot of discussions about how many times does that really mean? I think what Jesus was saying, and I believe this with all my heart, is that it don't matter if they do you wrong, how many times they do you wrong, you forgive them. As a Christian, the worst thing we can do is let hatred or bitterness or unforgiveness begin to develop inside of us. And that's what the enemy would want. Because as long as we hold on to it, it's not going to do anything but fester and grow like a wound that has never been treated. And it will hinder our work for the Lord. It'll hinder our forgiveness in our heart that should be there, because you think about what Jesus did for us when he forgave us. And I think about the example he set for us on the cross as he looked down at the men who had beat him, who had mocked him, who had whipped him, who had done all kind of things to him in the evening before he was on that cross. And yet he loved enough that he asked the Father to forgive them, for they knew not what they do. If anybody had a reason to not forgive, it was Jesus. But he showed us that even with all he went through, he was willing to forgive. You and I today, we need to forgive, because if we don't, the enemy's going to use that to develop a hatred in us, excuse me, and it's going to be bitter for us. It's going to hinder our relationship with the Lord and with the world and our families. And most of the time, the person that has hurt you has walked away and forgot about it, don't even think about it no more, while we sit there and let it fester. And we can't do that as a child of God. We must be willing to forgive. We must be willing to look past that problem, whatever it may have been, and live the life that Jesus has asked us to live, as a life of love, a life of caring, a life of concern for our fellow brothers and sisters. So let's remember that today. We have to forgive. I know to forget, I've heard a lot of people say we have to forgive and forget, and that's hard for us to do as human beings. But we at least need to forgive and don't carry no bitterness with us. And that's what Jesus wants us to do today as Christians. We need to set the example for the world. A world that don't want to forgive, a world that don't want to forget, a world that always wants to bring it up in your face. We have to do the opposite as a child of God, and that is to forgive and let it go. And if we'll do that, then we can live a victorious life for Jesus Christ, and that's what he's wanting us to do. And I pray today that we'll be that Christ-like example for this lost and dying world. Amen. May God richly bless you. I want to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. I hope you have a great day in the Lord today and tomorrow with your family, and we'll talk to you later.